clear that over the last decades the city's been massively transformed. I came to the city in 1982 and it's changed massively since then. The post-bomb reconstruction decade was all about repairing the city after the IRA bomb. The last decade was about continuing that progression in terms of the city centre, but the city centre is still surrounded by large areas of land which are relatively underutilised and slightly unloved. And I think there's a huge opportunity there to think differently about those spaces. This goes back to MIPIM last year, where we did a presentation and came up with some ideas for slightly wacky off-the-wall projects for the city centre. But it was interesting, the response from people who'd attended that presentation afterwards, saying that actually there was more than a grain of truth in many of these things, and perhaps we should take ourselves and these projects a little bit more seriously. And that started us thinking about the future of the city and trying to create some new diagram or paradigm of how the city could develop. We've got lots of big pieces of land. Let's green them, let's use them creatively, let's grow food in them, let's make them the powerhouse of the city, let's make them the green resource of the city, let's make them an amenity for the city, let's make them the spaces that the residential areas overlook, and really convert what's currently an underused, unloved space into the green part of the city. Our day job is designing buildings. Our new office is low energy green design, but we're also getting more in almost sort of urban interventions and sort of bottom up guerrilla movements. So guerrilla lighting, the Garden City Initiative, which is a sort of social movement to green the city, the MIF intervention. So it's not all sort of office buildings and tower blocks, it's real sort of grassroots, getting engaged with communities and actually trying to transform the city from the ground up. The human race is endlessly creative, so people will find a way of creating new opportunity in these difficult economic circumstances. It's clear to me that the world has changed. This isn't business as usual anymore, it's the new normal. We'd probably be too optimistic to imagine that things are going to get back to the way they were before. So people have to think differently, look at different opportunities and try and leverage the assets of the city in a slightly different way. Manchester was the first industrial city and it has the opportunity to be the best and greenest post-industrial city, and I think out of this adversity springs opportunity, and that is Manchester's opportunity at the moment, and I'm sure it will grasp it as it always does.